Good morning, everybody. This is Max Farrell. This is DexTrader.com. This is April 5th, 2018, and this is your daily update. All right, so what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about our tools today. That's right, our tools. The tools that we provide as Dex Trader. Our learning, we're going to talk about our learning system. Okay, we're going to talk about our consult system. We're going to talk about our inner chat system. And then later on in DexFX copy updates, we'll talk about some other tools that we use in there. But for now, we're just going to talk about these couple of things here. Now, one of the most important ones here is the learning system. The learning system was there's a very good program. Now, we use a WordPress format. That's what this whole website system is, and it's very, very robust. Has a tremendous amount of opportunities and design things that we can do to make things better. But sometimes not all the tools talk to each other the best way, right? So our learning system that we've had from the beginning has always had a really good connection with our template, the way things look, the way things act. And it's always sort of been a good, solid program. Rudimentary, but solid. Until just recently. With our new templating format and our new designs, it has been sort of a challenge to try to, because we've never really had a website with a lot of flashy colors and all this other stuff, but that learning system in there was good for what we needed it to be. I want to advance it. I want to bring in something that is better, that is more robust, that has more interaction with it as you as the student, that can provide quizzes, that could provide certificates of authentication, that you have gone through a program, just a whole bunch of things. And in order to do that, we had to investigate another program. So we did. We found another program that is going to work. So in our Learning Center, because one thing that we're going to be focusing over the next couple of weeks here for the month of April is our learning centers and our learning system. And we're going to be providing a tremendous amount more information than you're probably used to, not just from us, but from anybody. I want to make this system for learning that if you want to learn how to trade Forex or learn any indicator in the system of MetaTrader, also other trading platforms, other network solutions such as TD Ameritrade, or other broker networks, or you want to learn about brokers, or you want to learn about how to get the best systems with brokers and put it all together. I want to provide that training for you. Because one thing I have become very good at is researching and developing educational solutions for people. So I want to start piling on and adding in to our learning center. Well, our current learning system is a little bit difficult to do that with. But our new one is going to be very, style oriented. And I want that. I want that what you're used to. Like if you go to lynda.com or Udemy or something, I want that kind of university feel for when you train with us. Something that can track what you do. Something that can reward you for what you do. And that's what we're going to do with the new learning center and system. So pay attention. There's going to be some things that will be coming up here pretty soon. There'll be some changes. If you have any problems whatsoever, we'll talk about our next tool in a second. But if there's any problems whatsoever, please just hit the chat. Give us a call. Write in. Do whatever you need to do. Amy's there for you. I'm there for you. Paul's there for you. Okay. The next system that I want to talk about is our consult system. Now, consults. If you haven't heard about them, that's that little thing that you click the button and you go to a calendar and you choose a time and you go, it says this time's available, you do this, and then Max is going to call me. Yay. And we'll talk for however long we need to talk for to get whatever consult we need to get. Now, there are a couple different consults that are available. There's the DexFX copy consult, there's the 5-minute traders consult, there's the basic traders consult, all that kind of good stuff. We've had this system from the beginning, and it has worked like a charm up until about 3 weeks ago, where we started to notice something that on occasion, and you know what, everybody's like, I never really ever miss a console. I've missed one or two where I've had something happen and I've had to reschedule and redo things. But this is with as many as that I've done in the past 4 years, over 1,100 of them to be exact. Well, to be averaged, over 1,100 plus. Okay, I've only ever really missed maybe, I'll say, 1%. Okay, where I've had to reschedule or something happen. I don't think I've ever just like completely blew off. Well, maybe once or twice there was a time when, if I miss the sheet coming over or what have you, right? Or I miss the email that comes over. When you guys place a consult in, there are 3 things that are supposed to happen. 1, I get an email that you're registered. 2, it gets put on my Google Calendar. That's right, I live and die by my Google Calendar. Okay, this has like all my appointments, all my schedules, my meetings with lawyers, my meetings with my wife, my coaching, my programming, everything is on there. Okay, I'm supposed to do these things. Okay, about 15 minutes before a meeting, I get an alert. With guess what? It also goes to my phone and alerts. And it says you have a meeting with, and the name and the phone number, and gives me a little button to be able to push onto. Okay? Now, when this happens, this is the set of the console, right? And I know when you folks go on board, and I take your time seriously because my time is important as well. I follow all these processes, okay? On board the system, on board the site that you use when you click that button, because that's not our site, we use a calendar system called Simply Book Me. When we use that system, we're supposed to be able to log in and look at our calendar and see what consults that we have at what time we have. And with this process, when this system is supposed to talk to all of those little dials and diodes that are in Google and on my calendar and on my email and on my phone, when there's a disconnect, it doesn't go to all that. So I don't get those connections. Now, the first time it happened was about 2 weeks ago, and there was an individual who was very, 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 very upset about it. His time is very valuable, and I can completely understand, and I agree. And I'm not being sarcastic. I really do agree that this individual's time is very, very important. And I apologized to him. I said, well, this has never really happened before because I don't see your consult on board the calendar on the network. And what was happening was that I was logging in to the calendar and it was giving me a different look on the screen. I could see other consults, but I was not seeing his. So wherever it was going, it wasn't on my sheet. Now, secondly, I wasn't getting the email responses. I was looking at my email and it wasn't there. So I said reschedule. He rescheduled. Waited again. Nothing. Nothing came up. And in fact, it was almost a week later that he decided to reschedule the process. And again, nothing came over. In fact, nothing was coming over at all. So I contacted Simply Book Me, and they told me that the information is going out, but it's being returned. So I looked at my email. Couldn't find anything in any of my emails, in any of the emails. Now, if you're used to seeing Google, they have places where you can make folders. And what the system had done in an update, okay, to my system, is that instead of putting it into my general population of my email, okay, my main area, it was putting it into a folder that it had made for itself because I gave it permission to do so. I didn't know it did that because I didn't put them in there. And so this long drawn out explanation of what the heck happened to the consults is twofold. There was a system update for Simply Book Me to talk to all of my devices, which it wasn't doing because my devices was pulling from the main. and it wasn't pulling from the folder. And that's where this long and short of it comes into. As far as the individual, they went on to give me a bad review and not be very happy with the company and said they were not very impressed because I wasted their times 2 or 3 times and tried to call the site at the same time I was on the phone with somebody else who is also complaining about the consults, but in a more professional manner. So we got a chance to rectify one, but not the other. If you have put in for consults and have tried to call the site, and tried to call the company, and all this stuff is happening, I am very, very, very sorry. We will definitely rectify this process and try to get back to everybody that we missed. In the meantime, the changes to the consult system is going to be this. Normally we do them from 12 to 5. There's somewhere in between there depending on what day it is, okay? With recent events happening and the conditioning of the website, I'm only going to be doing them from 10 a.m. to about 2:30 p.m. Now, I know it's not a lot of time, but I'm solely making my time for consults in these times, okay? So there'll be no other times made available in this solution. And you have to make your consult within 24 hours in notice, okay? So there'll be no more making consults of the day. We had somebody a couple of days ago, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consults on, and a tiny little spot down the bottom, and at about a half hour before I was finished the last consult, somebody booked another, and I didn't see it come through my phone because I was on the phone already. So we're trying to find a way and find a solution with that process in there. We'll also make sure that you can't double, triple, quadruple book in the system in that process. Why are consults this important? Well, a couple reasons. One is that you need to know what you don't know yet, right? So I get a chance to speak to you directly. I'm not trying to upsell you to anything. I really don't care on upsell. I'm not a big fan of upsell. I'm just there to help you understand what the systems are, and this is already part of your package. I'm here to make a relationship with you and to find out what you need and find out what type of trader you are, your trader's mind, okay? And to get you pointed in the right directions. All right, that's basically it. I don't want to take too much more of your time. I appreciate it. Make sure that you like or follow us on the YouTube channel. That's really important too, so you can get these updates easily enough. Up next here for April 5th, 2018 is your Dex Effects copy update. All right, everybody, today's a good day. I'm starting it out. Your Dex Effects copy update today is a good update. You should be happy. All right, so here's what we have. We talked a little bit yesterday about one very important thing, and that is called pullback, right? And the pullback, just so you know, on a professional system like this, can be sometimes, I guess you could call it, you need some Tums, right? You might need some Tums because your stomach starts to grumble a little bit. And that's okay, because what we've found here with this team of traders that we're using with this process, with our process, is that as trades start to go in our direction, we scalp off one of the trades because we're twin trading, right? We're using 0.02 micro lot, and we pull one off. So then we get profit margin here, yay for us. And we let it do its thing. Sometimes it'll break that even, or sometimes it'll keep going. In the cases where we say it's going to be a buy and it goes off to the sell, we look at certain levels. If it continues on, we say, okay, do another one for a buy. Okay? All right, if it goes off, we're great. It'll recapitulate that one, make money. Yay for us. But if not, okay, if not, what happens? It continues on, we're still in a losing trade. We might do one more from that point. We'll never do more than 3. And hopefully that they come back. In this pullback region, you're going to be looking anywhere between 100 to 200 pips. You know, maybe even a little bit more. But that's okay because we have a lot of trades on. No one trade should be with a pullback more than 150 pips. If it is, then we have an issue. But let's go have a look at the Max Prime system now. Let me refresh the page. Yesterday we were down below. Let me cancel this out here. We were down below. We were down pretty much, right? Because we were 100, because the Great Britain pound CHF was way down, right? And in fact, we've even just peeled off one Great Britain pound USD CHF. Yep, looks like we just peeled one off for 13 pips from the sell direction. So that's good, right? Why? Because if I do a little pullback here, this is what's happened. We were doing sells. We wanted sells off up at this point up here, okay? But we didn't get our sell back a couple of days ago when we first put this trade in, right? Because we put in for sells all the way down here at 34.09, okay? But we kept on. We found one here. We put another trade in. We put another one up here. This one just yielded us 18 pips, okay? Now we're hoping that we have a turnaround. We had some consolidation here in this factor. We're getting a return around here on the Great Britain pound CHF, and we're hoping that it's going to start going like this and get us back down in here. But this is long term. So we're not just dealing with daily trades here and scalping along the way. As you can see, we did really, really super well, okay, yesterday. Look at this. This is beautiful, okay? So even though that we had some trades that were on, we got them all off, and then we started really to punch it here, and now we're in our zone, okay? Even with the pullback. You see, in the very beginning, pullback is this little number that's happening right here, okay? When the pullback starts to face in the same direction, but is just lower, this pullback is always should be matching as we continue to climb on our equity curve. We are now, drum roll please, only $4 away from our positive full account equity. And that's so important because with everything that's happened to us, okay, we only started here in the beginning of the week right here with this process, okay? So we had some pullback there, and now we're in our right direction. And aren't you excited? This is beautiful. This is now in our favor. This is nothing but working, working, working. Compounding your process every single week into this solution, increasing the value of multiplier as we go. But you have to be very careful. Depending on the size of your account, if you're going to be increasing the multiplier, you only want to do it in increments of 2, okay? Because you want to be able to twin trade. Or so, in our case, you just have to do an increment of 1, right? So if we're using 0.02 microlots and you're a multiplier of 1, you're doing 0.02 multiply or microlots. If you're going to be doing a multiplier of 2, remember you're going to be doing this R2, it will actually equal 0.04. So keep that in mind as you move along. However much your account is doing right now, you have to look at the margin and level and leverage on what you're doing. If you're surviving that, if your account's not being like drawn down like 50% because your leverage isn't very high or you don't have a lot of margin, then increasing it double is just going to kill your account. Stay where you're at now. Be comfortable. Allow it to progress. Take a deep breath. Allow yourself to become. Once your account doubles in size, increase double the size of your lot multiplier. Allow it to build. And we're getting there. If you're just starting on, great. You're right in the middle of it. I'm very happy for our success. I'm very happy for all of you that have waited this solution out. Now, will there be bad days? Absolutely. So keep strong. Keep your mentality focused on what your goal is. Remember, consistency, that's what we're looking for. We found it. We found consistency because we know that every time we start to trade, there's going to be these times where there's going to be pullback. We're just looking, we're just at a micro look right now, right? Because this looks really bad, right? From our view. But this is just this month. So our timing now is to make that 1 month, okay, just be here. That's what we're looking for. Even if we have some little bumps in the way, all the way there, as long as the overall equity is moving up and we're compounding every day. So I'm proud of all of you. Thank you very much for hooking it out. We've only lost 1 or 2 people along the way because, you know, this isn't the lifestyle for everybody. I can get that. I can understand that. But if you stayed strong, if you stayed focused with it, and you're still with it, and you're still pushing, congratulations, you made it. We got a lot more work to do. By the way, there's more systems coming on board too. Yes, I said it. There are more systems. So the Max Prime right now is filtering out the main DEX PIP system. Okay? And the main DEX PIP system is yielding out what you see, except for gold. We don't put gold trades on. The DEX PIP system does. They use gold, but we don't. So I don't let it filter through the Max Prime system. Okay? Now, there's also going to be the Midas, and they use a different mentality here for trading, but it's all through the same process. There's the Midas way to do it, okay? And then the Queen's way. I know, each one has its own little cute nickname, right? Dex Pips, Dex Midas, and Dex Queens, right? So all of these guys have a different yield. These guys are a little bit more reserved, but they have a medium perspective, right? So they try to keep stuff on for about the week to 2 weeks. The Midas guys are real fast and furious through the day, intradays, and may have longer day and a half. And the Dex Pips are sort of at the longer term pullbacks, the week, the very methodical process. So each one has its own. Each one will have its own price eventually. For all you guys that are on connected right now, you're connected to the Max Prime, so don't worry. You're not going to get. I can't put these on here. Our accounts can't handle them. Plus, there'll be sometimes conflicting trade values. Okay, so we're only going to be using Dex Pips, and we're going to be staying with this process. If you want to switch to those other ones, you would have to pay the extra for that, but that's not why I'm putting them on here for, okay? I want you just to focus on where you're at right now. But I'm telling you that these are here for other clients that will be coming on to make a decision from that, and I'll have proper training and everything on board for that. I'm Max Farrell. This has been your Dex Effects Copy Update for April 5th, 2018. I hope to see you inside. Congratulations, and as always, trade well.